Hey everybody, thanks for watching, and just a quick reminder that Secret Society is now available, as well as all these previous sales are still available, as well as the membership and flash drive sale. So to get into the membership, it's a new website I talked about before that I'm going to be putting up in probably May or sooner. But this website is really going to be geared towards everybody who's seen personal economics, and just us having a website that's going to benefit us and give us the tools and point us in the right directions to grow economically, as well as, talk about all the occult and esoteric ancient history stuff that we talk about in my videos. So I want to put this site together to basically combat what's happening with YouTube, and the fact that, the censorship, I can't get all my videos, seen, and not to mention that they block a lot of my links. A lot of my links don't be working, and it's always the issue. So I wanted to create a new site that's going to be basically protected, and everybody will have access to everything that is put out there. And that's the problem with social media. When you get into these contracts with them and get into YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or what have you, you got to realize that they control that platform, so they can make sure that your content is seen by a certain amount of people and not everyone. So you can have 2,000 followers or what have you, and only 200 or 300 is going to see your content, and you have to pay for everybody to see your content. So that's basically what Facebook is doing. They charge you money through advertising for people to put out, any type of post to reach, everybody in their friends list. So, this is basically going to be a starting platform for something much bigger, and it's going to be membership based. And as I said, those first 700 people now, and I added 200 more spots. 500 has been filled. It's probably about 102 spots left, I believe, and I'm going to be done with this whole thing in February 15th, because I have to get those people who joined early into the system, so they can be set in. And this is a lifetime membership. These people, the first 700 will not have to pay the membership fee after this. So the site is basically going to have a lot of videos, not just my videos, other videos as well. I have some people coming to the platform, which I'll talk about later. It's going to be a lot of stuff to help with you understanding about drop shipping, you understanding about the economic situation and economics, your personal economics, as well as just a wealth of information. I don't want to say too much right now until I start getting more shots and more previews generated for you guys, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But it's going to be a lot, and it's going to lead to something much bigger that I don't want to talk about, because I don't want people to steal my idea. But it's going to be cool. So thanks to everybody who has already become a member and have already supported, what have you. It's going to be big. But another one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, which is basically one of the purposes for this video, was to basically talk about our mindset. A lot of people that call themselves conscious do not want to let go of the past. They don't want to let go of old information. A lot of people hang on to stuff and are not using rational thinking when it comes to a lot of things. Now, case in point, we can go back to, Martin Luther King. And if you follow me on Instagram, I posted what I had to say about, that whole situation. And you're going to start to see, and I've already seen it so far, them starting to come out and talk about the truth about his assassination. Now, we can all agree that Black history, the way they tell it, how you're going to allow people to tell you about your history, that's crazy. So a lot of us have basically taken it upon ourselves to go and do the research and basically realize, what our true history is. And, a lot of people are still caught up in the old information, and a lot of people are still taking heed to that because it's popular, information right now. And the whole thing, as I said, case in point with Dr. King, is we've been fed years, of, information and, just everything that happened during the civil rights movement. And we've been bombarded with Dr. King and everything else like that. But you got to start using common sense and just look at stuff a lot differently. Once you become conscious, stuff starts to reveal itself. And once you start really getting into this line of thinking, they'll call you a conspiracy theorist. But You have the truth. You have facts, plain and simple. Now, the worst thing that happened to us after slavery, to me, was integration. And the fact how it was done and how we went about trying to fit in with this system that was set up to destroy us, is up for debate, And when you go back then, you don't see that it was a lot of people who was against integration, and for the right reasons. We basically gave them the greatest economic control over the black community ever. Once we integrated, we basically destroyed the black business. Once we integrated, we destroyed black unity. Once we integrated. And Dr. King, his job was to basically lead us into a nonviolent, peaceful protest that would result in us basically handing over our economic power to the white man, to this system. And that's exactly what happened. Showed the video before, Malcolm X saying that Dr. King was basically paid by the white man to basically keep us, taking these beatings, to basically push us towards, the fulfillment of their agenda. And it came true, once after his assassination. I don't know if it was so much so that people wanted to honor Dr. King and just, do what he wanted us to do, and that's basically integrate peacefully and just try to fit in and hold hands with the enemy and what have you. We integrated into a system that was designed to destroy us. To try to hold hands and hug and love a system and the people that spat on us and that basically, didn't want us there. And of course, it wasn't all people. It wasn't all white folks. It was just, the majority of the system. So in that case, we got to note that it's not everybody. But the system itself, it destroyed us, and it's still doing so. And to me personally, I can't look at, everything Dr. King did and say he was this great man who did this great thing and everything like that, the way we have been taught in school and by TV and the press, the media, what have you. It's been crazy. So, you're going to see them come out and start talking about the true assassination of Dr. King and how he was really killed. And this is stuff that was known for a long time. And you got to ask yourself again, why now? Why? Why now bring it up? When it went to court in the 90s, 95, I believe it was, it has already been found that, state and local officials, the federal government, and other people were complicit in the murder of Dr. King, who was supposedly killed in his hospital room, suffocated, what have you. They said the bullet might have killed him, but probably didn't. RT is putting a video out on that now. But you'll see this stuff, and it's been slowly coming, but it all fits into what I was talking about in consciousness, carbon metal, and a matrix of reincarnation. But it's one of those things where a lot of people are going to jump to defend Dr. King because, it goes with the programming. And a lot of people are not going to realize that, well, wait a minute, this was probably the worst thing that happened to us. And as I have proven and shown, contrary to popular belief, economically we were doing just fine. And we were growing economically in the 50s and 60s. We had black businesses. We had a black community because we couldn't go and give them our money then. We had a black community. We had black business because that's all we could do. We couldn't really go nowhere else and do anything. They had us confined to the black community. And unless you was working for the white man somewhere else, you stayed there. And when you really think about that economically, that's a great thing. It's just a great thing because now you have your people coming in and patronizing you and spending money with you, and that money is staying in the community. And what was lacking for us was just the education, which we were slowly getting from them. The education on really how to take that money, take those funds and start the banks and start growing and everything like that. And we've seen that with Black Wall Street, what's possible without integration. And, I had people say, well, we couldn't did this without the white man. People actually say that. And we couldn't did this without us knowing this system or what have you, but we did it. We did it, and we kept doing it. And a lot of stuff would have been much more possible without integration. So we can have that debate and we can say, It was a good thing, and a lot of people want to look to, basically the heart of Dr. King and everything he spoke to. And it's nothing wrong with preaching nonviolence and peaceful protest, but this was a situation where I'm not going to say violence was needed or we needed to be really militant, but we needed to show that power. We needed to show that we wasn't just going to sit there and take it. And honestly, none of that was necessary. That was a lot of noise. And it's another thing you got to ask yourself. Anything these people want to keep out of the media, they will. Why was they showing the world and showing everybody these protests and these marches? And King's speeches were so passionate, and they fit. They fit what we were trying to do so well, and they fit his argument so well. And anybody with any kind of common sense or heart would basically appeal to somebody saying that we just want to be treated like men. We have love for y'all. We want to hold hands and be peaceful. We want unity. And a lot of people walked and it played to the heart of a lot of black people back then who was just trying to fit in, just trying to fit in with the system and be accepted and basically say I'm not violent, I'm a good guy, I want to basically, fit in with you guys and just be accepted as a person. And a lot of people drew to King's speech and everything that he was about, but a lot wasn't really thought about economically, which was the main purpose of this movement was to destroy us economically and destroy the unity. And it's called divide and conquer. We know this. We have this common enemy or this common problem that we're all basically a part of, and it's making us stronger and it's strengthening us. And if you look at it today, the fact that everybody follow us, everybody's trying to be like us. And you have to understand that eventually, us being who we are naturally, as we would have grown, integration would have naturally happened because people would have died. They would have, begged to be a part of anything we was trying to do. Our music was the best music out. Everything we was doing was just better. We was united. We were strong, and it would have led to a natural integration process that we controlled. And we allowed in people to our circle and had it benefit us. By us giving into integration and taking in this whole thing and being a part of their system that they control, we gave them all the power. We destroyed our own economic communities, our economic, all our businesses, everything that we could do to grow as a people was wiped out with integration. So I don't want to really put everything on King and just say King is just the worst person and everything like that. But we got to stop following what's been told to us by them and understand that they told us this stuff for a reason. Like I said, you don't get a national holiday and a statue in Washington, D.C. if you are a true black leader, honestly. I mean, if you didn't, do you honestly believe, I showed the pictures of King with Rothschild and Rockefeller, and do you honestly believe that they would give this man, a day if he didn't do the great, he gave them the greatest power over us. And, we have ourselves to blame as well by following it and just, giving into it and letting these people control our economy and control everything that we do, when all that was needed was the knowledge and the understanding that what we was doing on our own was way better than integrating. And that integration would have took place naturally as more people would have wanted to be a part of what we were doing. A lot of people don't understand that when Black Wall Street was up and running, we talk about 1920s, they had white folks working for them. That was one of the things that people hated. If you go back and look at some of the pictures, you can see it. You had some white folks coming into a black community looking for work. Think about that. That's power right there. And that's something that you're going to be able to provide when you have a strong economic base. Now, I live in Sweden, as I always talk about living in Sweden. I've seen so many Africans with businesses that have Swedish people, white people working for them. And it's a powerful thing to see. And it shouldn't even be like a thing, it should just be normal. It's business. You got a business, and of course in some black businesses it's happening right now. White folks working for black folks. But back then, of course, that was, they wasn't having it. And when a lot of people was returning back from war and coming back into Tulsa and seeing that you had this thriving black community that was just killing every white community, and these people was living in poverty, couldn't find jobs, and here you have Black Wall Street. It was jealousy, it was guilt. And from then on, they destroyed any type of black economic unity and growth that we would try to have. And they couldn't get everywhere, but they was trying. And it's the same things I talked about in Secret Society DVD with, the Boule, and with them coming together to basically control the progression of the black community. And this is with the NAACP and all these fake ass black leaders. That was their job, to keep us in line. Now, as I said, King was in Boule. King was basically down. He was a member. He was in a fraternity. He was in, and even before we get into King's whole rise to civil rights and everything like that, he was basically already down and willing to do what he needed to do. That's what fraternities is about, So we got to look at that and not just keep accepting the narrative that's been told to us to keep us in this certain mindset. And it happens with a lot of things. A lot of people don't want to just look at things differently and understand what was put out there as a trap, and to just really understand that if they telling it to us, if it's on mainstream media, if they're putting it out there, basically, it's for a reason. They want us to know. And you have to look at everything that goes along with it, and the fact that, it doesn't make sense. It don't make sense at all to basically give this man a national holiday and a statue, and to give us this Black History Month, to keep this whole negative energy of what took place back in the 60s. And every year it comes back up, and every year we deal with it, and every year it basically, it shows us that, we came a long way, but we still have a long way to go. And it's something that, we got to look at and think about, do we really need this Black History Month? And if we're going to have this Black History Month, who is controlling the Black history that we're talking about? Who's controlling the Black history that we are learning about in schools? Do we have control over what's going to be said and who's going to be basically celebrated, what's going to be talked about? Now, I'm all for a lot of people. Now, Black History Month should be really getting into the hidden accomplishments of Black people and things that we did, because I'm seeing people getting more and more shocked when they realize the things that we have invented, the things that we had in Africa long before any European monarchy took a throne, and stuff that we've been doing for a long time. And it blows people's mind that we had a legal system before they did. We had doctors before they did. We had a governmental structure before they did. We had schools before they did. We had everything before that. And then this is the kind of Black history that needs to be talked about, and not about people who have basically deceived you when you really pay attention. So now another thing I want to talk about is, now we have conscious Christians. This is another thing that's being big. A lot of people are taking, I said this was going to happen. I said it was going to happen. A lot of people are taking the occult, esoteric, knowledge from out of the Bible, and still giving it to Jesus and saying that Jesus or the creators of the Bible already knew this stuff and put this stuff in the Bible. And this is the true message that Jesus wanted to give us about spirituality and, all this kind of stuff like that. And it's frustrating when I see people that was conscious for a minute, I should say on the fence, but calling themselves conscious, and then they go back to Jesus. It's one of the things I see a lot in certain posts, especially on my personal Facebook. You see people that post conscious stuff, but then later they'll post something from the Bible about Jesus, or they'll be thanking Jesus for something, and I'm like, which one are you? Now, I can't really say too much because that was me a long time ago as well. But as I said, with more knowledge and studying and understanding, you'll come to the truth about Jesus. You'll come to the truth about the devil in the Bible and what's really been put out there. So, a lot of people can't leave that Jesus stuff alone. They can't let it go. And they're trying to mix it in now with consciousness and saying that, Jesus was real and he was conscious and the creators of the Bible was conscious. Let that shit go and understand what it is. Plain and simple. And a lot of people have been getting on me about, not answering questions. And, I apologize. I can't really get to all the questions and everything. And if you tried to hit me up lately, this is my birthday. I was on the 28th, so I've been out basically having fun and, you know, chilling throughout my birthday week. So anything I missed, I'll get on it today. But a lot of people, you know, they get upset. You don't see my messages, and I get hundreds, thousands of messages. I can't see them all. But I gave you guys everything. You know, I gave you guys everything. If you have my videos, my DVDs, and it's, I don't like to say this because then people's going to be like, you know, it's all about money, and I put everything on the DVDs. Everything is there. Everything that's going to get you, all the information you need to get you out of this shit is, I mean, really on YouTube as well. But the deeper information is on the DVDs, and I don't want to just be like, you know, go buy it and get the information. But if you really just took a chance and watched it, all your questions are answered in those DVDs. All your questions are answered on YouTube, possibly. So you have to take the time and look, you know, plain and simple. And it's not about the money. It's not about that. As I already said, you know, I already had money before I jumped on YouTube. It's about me putting out this information for people to get. And this is how you validate yourself. You know, how when people support and they purchase all of the series and they purchase DVDs or what have you, it lets you know that you're doing something right. Plain and simple. Let you know that what you're doing is working. And I can see that. You know, I see that from the many people who send messages and ask questions or what have you, that what I'm doing has an impact. I had a person, just to give you a quick, I had somebody send me a check for $20,000 because of personal economics. They made crazy money. And as much as I tried to send them the money back, they wouldn't accept it. But this is what I'm talking about. Like the personal economic series, I think is a sleeper for a lot of people who not, you know, sometimes you try to teach something and you hope that people have a prerequisite, that they can understand some little things, and it's hard sometimes to teach towards a person's understanding, which is something I sort of do well. But with personal economics, I don't think people realize exactly what that is and what it leads to, you know, a large part of people. But a lot of people have, and they have taken advantage of the series and has made crazy money. And I get the messages and I look at people accounts and people send me what they've done and websites and everything like that. And this is something that I'm going to feature in the website, you know, and the membership site. All these people that's been on the personal economics that have your sites and everything like that, I'm going to definitely have links and information about those sites. A couple of you I told already I would do this. And yeah, it's going to be a lot, but I think a lot of people, like, you got to understand that Kemet is there. The knowledge is there. Esoteric knowledge is there. Occult knowledge is there. We can learn everything. We can have all this information and knowledge and just be walking around smart. The power is in economics. It's just that simple. So when you hating and you're not supporting your people, I mean, you destroying yourself and you're destroying your future. It's just as simple as that. We got to get out of this knowledge that everything is about money and somebody's trying to get over on you or scam you or what have you, and look at shit face value. I feel like my videos speak for itself. Plain and simple. You can see, if you watch my stuff, you can see my heart and my motivation and what I'm trying to put out there, what I'm trying to convey and do. There's a lot of fake, oh my goodness, man. It's a lot of new cats on YouTube, a lot of people who really trying to get into this information and deceive you guys, and it leads you somewhere stupid or just trying to really rip you off for money. And all you got to do is go back and look at the people who've been here. I was on YouTube before monetization, before they started paying people to do this shit. So I was putting out videos for years before, you know, people start coming on here trying to make a living. So it's not about that. And if you take the time to really invest in yourself, and as I said before, you ain't got to get it from me, just get the information so you can have the knowledge. I mean, a lot of stuff, when I get messages of people that ask questions, you know, and the videos are right there. You know, I send them a link. Oh, this is on YouTube, or if you get this DVD or download, and you know, so many people who I have pointed to other people's, this guy has really good knowledge on this situation. I don't really get into it that deep. I'll do that as well. But you guys gotta start changing your mindset and start looking at things face value, and stop expecting people to, you know, to deceive you in some type of way. The information is out there. It's out there. You can either go get it yourself, and do the research. But that's one of the things I try to do and try to help people with, because I know me starting out and before YouTube, before Facebook was even there, not having nobody to turn to, I know how that feels to have, woken up, and then now you're trying to, realize where to go, what to do. I made this easy. I try to explain it the best way possible. But if you don't get the information, I can't answer every question. And a lot of questions require a lot of prerequisite knowledge for you to even understand. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta just take the chance and just trust me on this one. And it's worth the time to get the videos and watch it and understand what's being said and what's been put out there. And as I said before, we understand, and we always talk about it, there is this whole white supremacy, this whole white privilege, white supremacy, white economic structure that want to basically dominate the black economic structure and everything like that. We understand this. We all understand what's happening behind the scenes. So if you get that and you know that there is oppression, then you have to understand that, of course, the number one thing they're going to do is try to destroy our unity, especially economically. So of course they're going to put out there everything that people feel in regards to supporting black people. And that's already out there. We don't support each other. It's something we all know. And of course they're going to make that possible. And we're going to have, quotes and slogans that I don't support black business and this and that. It's going to exist because that's what they want. They want that to exist. And you got to understand they made sure that, we were put in a situation to where we can't do business like them. I mean, if we could do that, then we'd be on top right now because everybody is following us. So, that, as I said before, that emotion, the feeling you have, and it's not really hating, but it's still something they created within us to not want to support. And a lot of people do this unconsciously. And it's a mindset. It's something that I understand personally, so I don't really flip out about it. It's just like I know. When people say, black woman, and this is somebody said this, a lot of people said this, the black woman is trying to be economically against the black man, and the black woman is trying to basically usurp the black man, and all this stuff like that. I look at shit in contrast to, this system, and understanding that dude is a drug dealer because of this system, because of the shit we've been put in. This person is shaking her ass because of this system got her. It's in her brain. It's in his brain. It's survival. People doing what they got to do. These people act fake and try to be a part of this culture, try to do all this shit they see on TV is because the system. And we got to understand, when you see a homeless person, when I see a homeless black person, I understand, damn, he fell. And of course, a lot of this is fault, due to ourselves, but we can't ignore a system that had billions of dollars put into it, the smartest minds involved in it, to destroy us. We can't ignore that. And we can't just say, oh, well, he just fucked up, or he out there messing up, or she out there messing up. We got to understand it's a powerful system that we all talk about. We all talk about oppression and white supremacy and everything. But when it comes to a person and their fall and their faults, we don't want to freaking point to the system and say, well, it's because of the system. We want to just look at them and say, well, they're just completely wrong. And that's something I don't do. This video is about mindset, understanding your mindset and where you at. So I wanted to make this to get people to start. Just think about the way you think sometimes. And that's the toughest thing to do because it's you. Anything you're doing that's pro you, you're going to be with 100%. It's just why a lot of people stuck in religion because it's what they feel they want to do. Anything that's pro you, that you feel is you, you're going to go for self first. But you got to understand the stuff that's been put in you emotionally to deceive you and have you following something wholeheartedly, and people get emotional and they cry about their Jesus, not knowing that it's bullshit, not knowing the truth about it. And those emotions and that feeling they get that make a person want to scream and cry, you're not going to talk nobody out that shit. It's not going to happen. You got to really sit down with a person and really have the knowledge and the skills to talk them out of their heart. It's not easy to do, and it's one of the points I make about having the knowledge to do so and having the information, at the ready to answer these questions that people are going to have for you, or else you're not ever going to, be able to communicate with them and get them out of the religious mindset and the secondary mindset that they have, and it's not your own mindset, shit that's been put in you to have you doing and acting some type of way, plain and simple. Now, I talked about this before as well, about, people got their own idea on consciousness, and it's the same shit with the Christians. They'll point to you and say, oh, that's not Christian, and they doing this, worse shit. It's the same thing now with consciousness. People will point to you and say, well, that's not conscious. But really it's about balance, yin and yang, and understanding material and energy, understand that you got to balance both. You can't just say I'm spiritual only, because you're not. You're still a physical being, so you have to balance the physical as well. There's a balance. That's what life is about. It's about balance. The Bible is balance. Plain and simple. Religion is balance. When you really get into it, everything is the balance, and understand there's always going to be an opposite. Plain and simple. So if the ultimate, and this is tough to say, but it's the truth. You got to realize it. If the ultimate goal you have or thought you have is that which is going to rule and everything is going to be kumbaya, it's not going to happen with this generation of people, with us, because the mindset is done. Until the mindset get back to balance, till we get balanced in the minds of anybody that's going to be in any kind of power, that's not going to happen. Because there needs to be a balance, and everything is so unbalanced. Everything is thrown out of whack, and you got to get your mindset out of, everything just going to be right and peaceful, and get it into understanding that you got to balance yourself and focus on yourself first while you're worried about somebody else. Focus on yourself, get yourself balanced, get yourself right, and get that knowledge so then you can help other people, later on. But it's a balance that must be had for shit to start working out. And we just so imbalanced because, like I just explained, you got conscious and religious. That shit just don't go together. You got people walking around wearing ankhs and crosses, and that shit just don't go together. And people just jumping into consciousness to be down, to just fit in with something that seems to be the new trend, and it's not. You're going to start to see it, and you've probably seen it already. You're going to start putting out a lot of conscious information that you're going to be like, well, damn, they telling the truth. And I basically kind of gave you that with the video I put on Instagram with Jane Elliott talking with Jada Pinkett and all them, and then basically coming out and saying, the black woman was here first, and everything like that. Why would they? That's mainstream right there. That you had a white woman saying mainstream with black women celebrities that the black woman was first, and think about that. And you got to understand how these people think and how they move. When they can't beat something, they got to get with it, then get ahead of it. Plain and simple. And this is the name of the game. And they've been doing it for a long time. And as I said before, the information has been out there. But since they put out years and years of this information and lied about so much shit, and now that you have another faction of people, namely the Chinese, coming out basically saying, well, Africans was here first. Africans are the creators of all, we the originators or what have you. Now that you have these people coming out saying that, then they have to get ahead of it and try to make it like they never made these lies and call it something else. They want to now call themselves the evolution of man, that they evolved, out of the African to something better. And this is the narrative they want to create to make it like their evolution is something better and we're just primitive. Just like how they try to tell us that, we were primitive in Africa and they came and saved us from that life. So you got to understand the thinking and the mindset, and just because it's on TV and people talking about it and it seems popular, you got to think against it. And I don't go with what's said, mainstream, and even what's in books, and until I do the research and say, okay, yeah, this is right, because it'll fit. And I talk about that all the time. It will fit with everything. It will make sense. And, the thing, as I said with Dr. King, it don't make sense for, all these amazing black people that did great things for black people. There's no statue. There's no holiday. There's not really a mention. I didn't learn about Garvey in school. I didn't learn about him. Though he was till I was a grown man. I didn't learn about a lot of leaders. I never heard of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Even though he was all on mainstream, Phil Donahue or what have you, TV shows and everything like that, I didn't know about him. I didn't know about a lot of people. I didn't know about the accomplishments of African people in Africa years before a European monarchy. So I would rather talk about these kingdoms and these kings and who these people were. And you're not going to see it nowhere. You're not going to see it unless you go and dig. And that's what it's about, digging and getting information and really learning, what's been put out there and what the truth really is. So I basically, started, putting our information really on Black economics and just personal economics, because that's really what we need to really get into. And this is one of those things where, like I say with the Moors, we can learn all this information about the law and everything like that and start putting this stuff, into motion, but it's still in a system that they control. Plain and simple. They control the system. So you can step in court and know all this legal stuff they want. This is a system that they created that they can just be like, so what? What all this legal stuff is not going to guarantee that they just going to let you move through with the law, especially if it's going to benefit Black people. The number one thing that's universal is business. Economics is universal. You can't stop thousands of people from buying somebody's shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You just can't do it if they want it. Now, they're doing it, don't get me wrong, with far as censorship and everything like that. But if you have it in the minds of people, in the minds, I'm not talking about, TV, internet, advertising, what have you, but in the minds of people, to do this and get that and get with this and buy. You can't stop that. Can't stop that. Plain and simple. And that's what advertising really is basically geared towards. But word of mouth, we've been doing that before television. Word of mouth is the best advertisement. So they can't stop that. So business is universal. It's the way that we are going to grow economically and have our own. And me being out in so many different places, past few days, and meeting so many Black entrepreneurs. Most Black entrepreneurs I've met in a long time in one area, and that's just talking about business. That was a powerful thing that I was doing at Lakers game, talking to people who had real economic mindsets and understood what to do and things to do. And I'm getting with a lot of people to really help make this a big thing. And everybody who I talk to, if I told you that I'm definitely going to feature you on the site, and it's a lot of good businesses that's growing up. And us having a hub where Black entrepreneurs can come and advertise without having to go through all this shit with Facebook and all this bullshit and have our advertising censored and everything like that, that's powerful. That's a big thing. And it's not, to my knowledge, anybody who's trying to do this or who has done this, but I'm going to be the one to do it. And it's going to be huge. But really it's going to help grow the site and really separate the people that's serious about personal economics and the people that's really serious about the growth and the progression of Black economics and Black people, to really get those serious people in one place. Because, everybody want to keep talking about this Black unity and everything like that, but they don't show no support. It's just crazy. When people want to like something that's more material over something that's going to benefit them, that tells you the mindset is different. Your mindset has to change. You got to really work on you. And some people are conscious enough to know that their mindset is not right, that some of the shit they say and do is just not right. They got to change that. I was already there before. I really understood that, damn, the way I'm thinking is not correct. And it's affecting my actions. So I need to really focus and work on the way I'm thinking and how I'm thinking, and be conscious when I have these thoughts. And, people say you need a therapist and stuff like that. No, you just need to meditate and focus and really program yourself to do exactly what you want. And I'm talking to you from experience. For me to go from where I come from to where I'm at with, I ain't signed no contract with no entertainment label, or have to do none of the bullshit that people doing to be where I'm at. Knowledge. It's just that simple. Economics, and understanding economics, and that these people are not going to give us anything. If Trump really do shut down the government and it affects food stamps, a lot of people are going to be affected. Not just Black, white, a lot of folks. A lot of people are going to be in trouble. And it's going to be trouble for the economy. It's going to be trouble for shit for everybody. Because you don't know what a person is willing to do to feed their family, you know. And my personal, you know, thoughts on that is nobody should be on welfare for more than 2 years. It just shouldn't happen. You got to figure a way out, you know. 3 years max. You know, just shouldn't happen. You know, if you really wanted to grow economically and grow and be successful, one of the first things you got to do is try to get yourself out of that, you know, and get yourself from under their control. You know, as I said, if you give the government the power to feed your family, you give them the power to starve your family. Plain and simple. You give them power over you, and now they're controlling you, and now you got to go here and do this and that because they feeding you. Why you want to, you know, don't put yourself in that type of position to give these people that kind of control over you, because you don't understand what they're doing is they are controlling your economics. They're giving you that crutch to lean on, and they're saying, okay, we don't want you to be successful and grow economically as a black person, so we're going to basically feed you and keep you in poverty and keep you in this black community so you don't use that brain you have and use that intelligence and everything you have, those talents, to grow up and be a rich person, to be in opposition to them. So we got to understand why a lot of stuff is being put out there and why a lot of stuff is where it is. It's a lot we need to do to basically bridge that gap, you know, that we are stuck in, and that's us growing again economically. And that's my focus. That's one of the things I want to do, because the better, you know, the more I can give you guys, the more information I can put out there to help people grow economically, the better we will be. That is the main thing. You know, I can talk about ancient history and talk about religion, and people can have the knowledge to be able to point and say, I know more than you, and I know this, and you're wrong, and this and that, and debate, or what have you. But what is that really going to do for us as a whole? We sitting around and it's all this mental masturbation and all this mental, you know, stimulation that we're getting and everything, and having this knowledge. But what is it really doing for us? You know, economics is big. And as I said, you know, they control this whole economic culture that we have, this whole structure. We got to start building a new one and start really growing economically and having our own shit and our own businesses. And that's what's really going to make a difference and make a change. Because when you can actually give people information that's going to put money in their pocket and help them feed their family and help them grow economically, that's power. That's real power. That's something I gave you. That's something that we giving each other that's really going to benefit us. Me telling you everything I'm telling you about Bible and history and everything like that, I can't just discount it as nothing. But you having that mindset and having that information and knowledge is going to help you want to grow more. You know, as a black person, it's going to help you want to grow more economically, because you're going to know that you've been bullshitted and all this stuff that's been put out there has been to keep you in poverty and keep you stupid and away from all this information. When you start getting this information in, as I'm sure a lot of you have felt already, it makes you want to do more. It makes you want to be more successful. It makes you want to just quit your fucking job and just go try to do something. But that's not practical. And a lot of people just can't do that. You know, a lot of people just can't be and go where they want to go because, you know, they stuck. But if you allow yourself to not have that information and to feel stuck and not really get the knowledge that you need that's going to help propel you forward, that's where you're going to be. And, you know, you can be emotional about your situation, or you can do something about your situation. And a lot of people are choosing to do something about it. And that's a big thing. That's a big thing. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Thank you to everybody who wished me a happy birthday. It was, you know, I had fun. It was a good break that I needed. It's a lot I'm trying to do and getting a lot of things together. That's a lot coming up for me. I always say that, but I didn't really go to a lot of places I wanted to go to because of risk. But yeah, this year I am. It's a lot of scheduled trips I have coming up, and it's another one of the reasons for the site. I want to get all this information out there. It's a lot of stuff I want to do, and I have a nice little team that I've put together so far. We're going to be bringing a lot of stuff to this site, and yeah, it's going to be a lot that is going to really help people out and help people grow like day one. As I talked about with income tax, what I talked about in personal economics, that starts now. You can start the whole thing that I put out in personal economics now. You know, if you get an income tax, or if you have that starting money now, you can start it now. And there was people who had to start money when I put the videos out that, you know, damn near millionaires today, plain and simple. So, you know, it's up to you guys. You know, it's up to you to really take charge and if you keep doing the same shit over and over, you're going to get the same results. I mean, it's crazy to think you're going to get something different. You can't do the same thing over and over and over. You got to take that chance. You got to take that risk. You got to believe in somebody. You got to believe in something. And, make those moves. Change. Do something different. Do what you think you need to do to grow economically. Plain and simple, to grow as a person, to change your mindset, and to not be that person with that mindset. Because once you really realize the truth, you're going to look back at all the shit that you said and did and be like, damn, what was I thinking? It's going to be embarrassing. And you can save yourself a lot of embarrassment by really changing your mindset and understanding that your mindset is the reason why you're not where you want to be. I mean, what hasn't changed that you've done so far? You know what I'm saying? What didn't you change yet that has you where you always been? You didn't change your mindset. So now your mindset is programming you to run in the wrong direction, to do and say the wrong things, because you haven't programmed yourself to do what you want to do. And that's what I talked about in meditation part 2. Really program yourself. I get these questions all the time, but the information is out there. You have to really, people think shit is a joke when we talk about meditation. You need to meditate. That is programming. The reason why you're going in the wrong direction because you are taking in their programming. The reason why you conscious 1 minute, but then you pumping a hip hop artist that's talking about killing your people is because you are not programming yourself to realize this shit. You promote shit that's completely against this. 1 minute you're this, and next minute you're that, because you ain't programming yourself. You say you're conscious, but then you're letting in the programming from the TV and from the music, and it's driving your actions. Until you start meditating, programming yourself, and really focusing on, really focus on where you want to be and what you want to do, is not going to happen for you because you can't see it happening for you. You didn't put in the work to see it happening for you. As I said before, you can't build a damn computer if you don't know how. You can't build a car if you don't know how. You can't build a computer. You can't build anything if you don't know how. There's information that's going to be needed for you to complete the job. So how do you think you're just going to be a millionaire and be this and be rich without the knowledge to do it, without the know-how, without programming yourself to do it? And people always say, well, shit just don't work out for me, or I have bad luck, or stuff don't go my way sometimes, because you haven't programmed yourself to do it. And understanding that programming is you connecting on a really, really high spiritual level with so many different things, frequency and energy and everything like that, and you shaping your reality. And that's a fact. When you put your mind to something and then you understand how to do it, it gets done. If you have the knowledge to build something, you got the knowledge to make it real simple for you. You got the knowledge to make a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You got that knowledge. It's just that simple. So you can go make one. If you didn't know how to make one, you couldn't make one. I don't know how to make this. So, okay, you can't make it. But you know how to make a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So you can just go do it. Apply that to anything. I got the knowledge to do this, to get this money, to be where I want to be at, to open this business. The knowledge is this. I'm just going to go do it. Stop thinking everything is so hard and difficult. It's not. It's about you having the knowledge, you seeking that knowledge and understanding how to do it. And then once you know how to do it, it's just going to get done because you know how to do it. And it's just as simple as that. I'm living proof of that. Again, thank you guys for taking the time to watch and purchase and support everybody who has become a member. You'll start to get more information on that soon. If you're waiting for flash drives, they're mailed out already, so you'll be getting information on that soon, or shoot me an email. So again, the membership is going to entail a lot, and if you be one of these first 700 people now, you won't have to pay the membership fee. You will also get all the videos for 2019, all the DVDs that's coming up. You will get every single one for 2019 for free, and stuff that's not going to be on YouTube because I can't put it on there. New videos, and I have some people, as I said, I'm bringing to the site that you'll see stuff from them. I have a good friend of mine in real estate that people who, my real estate people, been talking to you guys, but amazing creative ways that he's going to show you, with real estate, real simple stuff that's going to help you out, inside stuff. Trust me, you're going to want this information. I got my man Haru, who's basically my nutrition guy. This dude got all the oils, he has soaps, he has everything, all that good stuff that you're going to need, and he has knowledge on it. He's one of those workout dudes. He's definitely going to come and help out with a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a lot. And again, I appreciate the people who have the faith in me and the belief in me to basically, support, early rather than sit around and wait. And as I said, my information speaks for itself. If you watch the video, you see everything I've been putting out. You see where I'm at. You understand what I'm doing. And there's very few people that's talking about what I'm talking about and putting out what I'm putting out. So it speaks for itself. So a lot of new subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing and everything like that. And if you are having a problem with any links, because I supposedly fixed this, and definitely shoot me an email, let me know, because it's crazy. And I want to thank you guys again. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next video.